Welcome back to Skyblock Infinite Create, episode 17. I've got a good one for you guys today. Today we are going to be putting in our pale moss and moss farm in each of these and our dirt farm back here. And we'll be setting up our vertical package transportation right here. I'm also going to do something about these bridges. I know I said I'd do that last week, but I was busy last week, so I'll do it this week. Still don't know what the street sweeper is. Still gotta figure that out. It's fine.
We get there when we get there.
Last time we automated our redstone and deep slate, and as you can tell, they are completely full, which is perfect because I'm using a bunch of redstone now. Today, there's going to be something very interesting we're going to do with these farms. And it has something to do with elevators. You see, a couple episodes ago, I don't know what that was, like maybe 5 or 6, we went and put in this elevator that goes all the way down to our mob farm, picks up anything, and brings it back up. And you can even see the packages on these little depots. It's really cool. But I want to see if there's more things we can do with elevators, because they're basically just smart rope pulleys, and I want to design my moss and pale moss and dirt farms to work using elevator pulleys. And one thing I want you guys to all take away from this is I'm going to show you some of the mechanics, but I think Create should be used to make your own farms. I don't really like block by block tutorials for Create. I think you need to understand the mechanics and integrate them into your builds. There's a million different ways to make a Create farm. So as we're going through today, just think, how can I use this in my own ideas? Because you can. I bet you will be able to. No doubt in my mind. We also just got an update, so we now have an elytra spot and a spot for our back tank, because who needs armor? So that is awesome. Everyone say thanks, Nizki. You can do it in the comments, it's fine. All right, without further ado, let's hop into it. Now let's start by wiring this whole setup up. So I'm going to glue from here all the way down. All the way down here. Probably should light it up down here. Glue all the way down to here. And then we'll just rotate it down this way. Let's get rid of that to start with. And just open this up. And we're going to connect into a chain drive on the bridge over there. Grab our glue, and there we go. It is all glued up. All we have to do now is make sure we rotate the correct direction. We want to go that way. So if we right click, there it is. We're rotating the correct direction, 90 degrees, and rotate. There we go. Pull out some chains here and just connect them up. Oh, that was a perfect landing. And connect that to there. Then we just need to shift right click, and there we go. We have vertical chains. So now we want to connect that probably here, here, and here. So let me do that and connect all those up. Let's grab out our, it's not in there, it's in tools. Grab out our extender grip. There, connect that one there, don't need one to the front, there. From here we're going to want to bring the power up. How's that? Is that going to connect, or is it too steep? What if I did this spot instead? That works, so we just bring these all one back up. Perfect. Connect those there. I think that works. There, and that will connect up like that. And this is dead center, so we'll want to remove that and replace it with one of those and connect that up. So let's do that on all 3 of them. Connect that one to that one, and then we can just put one there. So we've got all 3 of them connected up. Now we need to route power in from the bridge. All we need to do for that is put a chain conveyor here. Connect that one to that one. Connect that one. Ooh, does this line up almost perfectly? Yeah, they're too far apart. I should have known that. I think I'm gonna have to get the happy ghast for this. There you are, buddy. Gotta be all the way over here? Yes, I know you're happy to get ridden. So what we're gonna do is we're going to put a little chain going lower and then connect up a chain drive so it looks like it's hanging from the bottom of here and bridging that gap between the bridge. That, move down a bit. Let's grab a metal girder. The center's somewhere around here. See, that will connect up to here. Then this can connect up like that. There we go. We have power heading in there and then going up through there. So that means, yep, all of that is now powered. While I'm here, I guess I need to fix this. I hate that the schematic cannon doesn't put those in right because they'd look so good. All right, I cleaned that up. Let's go put this guy away. All right, we're back. We have power here, so that is perfect. Now we're gonna need to sort out where our inputs are gonna go because we are gonna need gravel for the dirt farm and bone meal for the moss farm. So let's go ahead. Why is this like this? Oh, probably because of that. All right, so let's put a couple storage vaults down here. And I think one, that can be for gravel and that can be for bone meal. Let's actually turn that one sideways because it'll make more room. So that will be our gravel and our bone, or bone and our gravel, one or the other. I haven't decided yet. Now to get those, we're just gonna do a frog port on each of these and set a frog. Let's see which way is up. That side is up, so we want a frog that'll grab from here. Place there, from here, and place there. Moss, farm, gravel, input. And for this, we're just gonna do the same thing, but instead of gravel, we're gonna change it to bone meal, BM. And we're gonna grab our threshold switches here, put that on top of that one, and put that on top of that. Let's go with stacks. This can hold 900. Let's go for 500. And at 509, same here, and invert. We're inverting it because the redstone signal from this is going to turn off our pulse timer. And those pulse timers, we're gonna set them for 20 seconds. Then we grab a redstone requester and we're gonna need to link this to the system over there. So for that, I think I'm gonna just go ahead and grab a factory link it into there. And then I am gonna place this right here on the wall just so we have an example if we lose them for some reason. Can connect this here, copy that, and this is going to be for bone meal. So that would be 9 stacks. I kind of think that since it's so far away, we should send twice as much at once. So let's do that again. All right, so that should be 2 full boxes of 9 stacks. We're going to send that to the moss farm and we're going to click OK. And now it dinged. Let's see if a package arrived. Package is not going to arrive because we didn't set up anything to bring it from up here to down here. We connect that up so it'll say anything with moss farm, it'll pick up. We should see that start to pick up some packages. Yep. And if we bring that straight down, if we connect this guy here and then have that guy there, only sends, and put that in, those should start going. And There we go. We have bone meal in here. So we want to invert that. Let's see how long this actually takes to get here. There they go. Actually, that's almost exactly on time. Perfect. So we know about 20 seconds will work. So let's pop another one down here. And this one is going to be for gravel. So if we copy that, put that address into the redstone requester, then we go for gravel. Where is it? There it is. One, and there we go. If we invert this, we should start getting gravel in as well. There they go. All right, so now we have this. I don't want these to connect back up to this network over here. I want these to be on a separate network. So that means they each get their own packager with a new network. Connect up to that. And then we just connect up our frogs and set them to only send. And then I want to connect a stock ticker to that network. And let's place that right here. Now slap a blaze burner there so we can see. There we go. We have bone meal and gravel. So those are the only two inputs we're gonna need, except for a starter bit of moss and pale moss. So let's go ahead and put in the farms. Now that I think about it, I should probably do the dirt first because we're going to be converting the dirt into the moss. So I'm going to move my storage here, and then we're going to make the coarse dirt into dirt farm on this platform. Start working here. I've got power from here, so let's pull out our elevator pulley and get that hooked up here. We can do that. That will connect up there. So if this is the center, let's go. We need 9 blocks. All right, then we're gonna clear out the area around this. They're just holding the place. The gravel or coarse dirt will go here. So the elevator will go around that. And if we grab some deployers, but what we want to do is put a schematic in these as we go. So hold up, let me go get that. Right, coarse dirt times 8 redstone contact. All right, so we're gonna want to place this here. Something like that will work because there's a redstone contact in there. And we just want to put those in. This is right here. All right, that should be perfect. And then we're gonna glue all this together. And let's add some chains. I am being so bougie right now, but I've run out of carrots, but I had extra apples, so I guess I'm just gonna eat golden apples now. So we've got all of that loaded up properly. All right, so if we lay out a pattern, it's kind of hard to see from here, where everything is got a plow over it, then that's gonna work. Grab our glue and some metal girders, glue the last bits of this up. Awesome. It should have barrels. We need portable storage interface, and we need redstone contact, and we will be ready to start testing. All right, so we've put the mechanical plows up here. We've put the deployers here with the schematics. We've got barrels attached, so now we just need to put a redstone contact. I think I'm gonna put one right here. If we go up here and connect that up, that's all a contraption now. Cool. So now it's not. So we want to come down here and add our drills. Let's grab some trapdoors to cover those up. Put some of those down. And we just need to glue. And then let's test. Make it a contraption. Doesn't seem to all be glued up. Well, if we flip this around, there we go. Oh no. That's annoying. Hold up. And yes, we have taken a hole out of this floor. That was not unexpected. Let's try this again. Glue it up, turn it into a contraption. Down we go. Did we leave anything behind? We left a lot. We left a lot behind. If that's all glued up, then we should be able to turn it on and hit the button. We left this one guy and this guy, and that one there. Turn it all on. That seems to be everything. I need to grab a schematic cannon just to put the redstone link down here, because each of these schematics that I have here that I put in also contains this little spot down here, which is going to be our redstone contact. So if I put that there, grab a clipboard so we don't do the dirt. So let's head down here. Go ahead and place that next to it. We just need one redstone contact. So we're gonna remove all the coarse dirt. Yep, we've got everything but the dirt. Put that in. Skip missing blocks, that's correct. And that should be very quick. Now we're gonna have to fly down there. Nice landing. Did I not line this up right? Since this is all a contraption, is we could grab a piston, a mechanical piston, and just push it that one block we need it. Tap on that, put a piston there, engine pole there, grab a hand crank, just move it one block over. All right, that means we're gonna need to move the elevator pulley over by one as well. Redstone contact goes there, flip it around with a button on the side. Same goes for this one, flip it around, button on the side. Now, and it comes all the way down here. Perfect. Get rid of any extra glue bits, turn it back out of being a contraption. Let's grab a portable storage interface and slap it down here and here. Make sure those are glued in that back, and we should be able to see everything that's in there. Perfect. Now it's empty. I then proceed to spend about 30 minutes trying to make this location for the portable storage interfaces work, but it didn't. So I decided to scrap that idea and move the elevator down a little lower. There, that should keep that out of our way. Do our storage interfaces facing up. Those should be able to connect if we turn it back on. Yes, it did connect. Now we've got all this room down here for this.
Look at all this floor space. So many robots in there. So many activities.
So let's start with something going in and out. This is going to be our out. This is going to be our in. And it's going to be coarse dirt. Out is going to be dirt. We'll do stacks of 64. And we'll use a belt brass tunnels to split it up. So we're going to set these to force split. Nothing should come out of that. Grab the barrel for that one and a barrel for that one. Threshold switch there. Tell that to face the ceiling. 9 stacks, it'll turn on. At 8 stacks, it'll turn back off. But we actually want to invert that torch on there so that when this inverts, it'll turn the torch on, and we'll put a packager there, dirt STO, and we want to connect that to there and set it to only send packages. Now this one's a little more complex because this is going to need gravel in here. This one we're going to separate off and use it to craft the coarse dirt. That should wrap around here. We'll want that to feed in to a crafter, which will then place all of its coarse dirt in here. And then we just want the coarse dirt to come out there and go back in here. Smart chute on there, bolt there, packager with a frog, is that there, coarse dirt, gravel, craft. Grab a factory gauge, connect our factory gauge to this network, and tell it to keep gravel. 10 stacks. There's the address. That'll connect us up there. That's going the right way. All going the wrong way. There we go. Right, so all we need is the coarse gravel to kick it off, or coarse dirt to kick it off, I should say. Let me grab a link as well. Hopefully that will keep me from having to fly down there all the time. Paste that in, set it to receive, click that, We placed in all that. So that is not leading in. So what we want to do with that, carry the redstone signal like that. So that's going to lock that as well. So that I think will work. This will send that signal around. We send it all the way down. We come back up. Let's see, does it go all the way back up to 7? I think it was 80. Exactly 780. So if I were to put a threshold switch on here, we should check this threshold switch for dirt. Let me think about this. We want this to signal that it is out of dirt here. That will send it down to here and back up. Once it's back up, it will let everything go through, then it'll get low and it'll send it back down and up again. Problem is, when this goes away, it's gonna lose its signal anyway. Let me puzzle over this and I'll get back to you on it. So now I need to tell this package where to go, because right now we are setting it to dirt STO. I copy that, and we're just gonna make a vault for that over here. So let's just go here. I'm out of volts, but that's okay. For now, that will be enough. We put a packager on there, and then we put a...
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Is the season for spooky.
Oh, I see. I was like, are you feeling okay? You look a little mean.
It's just it's sweet berry juice.
It's sweet berry juice and your eyes.
Yes.
Well, it looks great. Wow, that looks fantastic. You have an ominous potion.
I killed a bunch of pillagers that were sitting in one of your platforms.
Oh,
They're all gone now, but there was like the banner guy and everything. They were on the pale oak.
well, I was over there, so that would be just within range.
And they do like to just spawn sometimes.
Yeah, especially when exposed to sunlight, so good to know. I'm currently working on a dirt farm and pale moss and moss farm that I didn't get to last week.
Ooh, I came over to steal some terracotta.
Oh, so I should be, unless I, raided it when I took a bunch of gold. I'm out of golden carrots that you gave me, and I don't have carrot production, so this is what I've been eating.
Well, that works too, I guess. But,
Do you know what the problem with eating them? You can eat them even when you're full.
oh, I imagine how that's an issue. I always carry like 3 extra stacks of carrots on me.
I will take those. Well, I've got 64. That'll hold me off for a bit. I should fix that at some point. If you want the terracotta, just throw a bunch of carrots in the system for me.
Will do. I'll have to go back to get more carrot, but I can throw a few stacks in for now.
That actually, if you've got them on you, I'll just take them. Perfect.
Should do you for a bit. If you need more, just let me know. I can get you some.
Yeah. Just whenever you got time, restock over there.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna fix this package. The terracotta should be in there. Let me know if it's not.
Will do.
That's right. It is spooky season. Maybe I should put on a Halloween costume. I'll have to look into that. I am not very good with skins at all, as you might be able to tell, but yeah. That was fun. That's cool. Cool idea. So we want to put a frog on here. Name that Dirt STO. There we go. Ooh, raspberry tasted the rainbow, apparently. I didn't know that was a thing. Oh, make every color wool, concrete, and terracotta. That just works like a charm. All right, so to recap, we've got ourselves a portable storage interface here that takes in the coarse dirt as it's created. We have a crafter that is set with gravel and dirt to make coarse dirt. We're using the factory gauge with the gravel to keep that in stock. And then we are using dirt from our dirt farm, wrapping half of it around with these tunnels. So we come out of here into this vault. This vault is what we're using. As long as there's dirt in this vault, the crafter is going to be running. So then it's going to release the dirt here. That's going to get split. every time this has a stack of 9, it gets packaged and sent away. So that's our output of dirt, and then this dirt comes back around. We've got a pulse timer set here so that when this observer says there's no dirt in here, turns that, which turns this off. We had to power it through a block here so that it wouldn't keep turning off the smart chute. And then this is letting out groups of 64 into there. So it just makes a nice little circle. And if we come over here, you can see our dirt is ticking up and our gravel is staying the same. We basically need to set up the same thing with our pale moss and our regular moss over there. So let me hop over and do that real quick. And then once I've got it all set up, I'll bring you in, show you how I did it, and we will watch this thing work like a charm. We are doing very well. We're still producing a bit more dirt to catch back up, but we've made moss and pale moss in abundance. We have the carpets, we have the seeds, and we have the flowering. I guess we haven't picked, oh, there they are, the azaleas. And we've also got a way to just call back if we need anything real quick. It's not sorted, but this is anything that we send to this will get picked up and sent down through here because we are hooked up to our storage through the bridge. I don't know how far out that can work, and I'm sure you have to have this place loaded to send anything out, and if the package can even travel through unloaded chunks. But that would be really cool. We have everything automated. So we have the dirt still running under here. And I was curious, so I took a item throughput here. Let me go down here and show you. I put a display link here so I could see how many items we're actually processing. And currently our number is 36,000 per hour. What is that in minutes? 600 a minute. That's not bad for one crafter. that is really cool. And I've decided to put the little glass in so you can kind of see the mechanism working under here. It's just satisfying to watch. And the redstone is simple. These redstone comparators, they blow my mind. I know it's old updates and all that, but they still just blow my mind that they gave, basically, this is the equivalent of a clutch. I can turn off power to it, or I can send a pulse back through to cut off a overriding power. And the pulse repeaters and extenders and all the create little bits that make redstone just so much more comprehensive. I mean, just being able to toggle the ticks on these is phenomenal. So this is basically every time it has enough dirt, or every time it has enough coarse dirt, that sends a signal. This goes through and tells this, hey, I'm going to repeat this in 10 ticks. It's going to last for 10 ticks. Then this one goes, I'm going to repeat that same pulse in 4 seconds. It lasts for 10 ticks. That sends it back up. This one sends it down. This one sends it back up. And then once it's up, it receives the signal, it just keeps looping. We throw our clutch either here manually by having this, which is the threshold switch, go, or if this sits up here too long with the materials and neither of these are on, this will, after 30 seconds, break that, which will send a pulse down here, and then 4 seconds later a pulse here, and it'll reset it. Simply elegant. It's so satisfying to watch, and I am super proud of it. Also, in theory, you could extend that all the way down if you wanted to. If you put the schematic in there, you could extend it all the way down and back up. Over here at the pail, it is currently off because we've got 41,000 pale moss. So it's currently off and it will remain that way. It works very quickly. Not as quickly as the moss, because I'll show you what I had to do there. But you might have noticed in the replay, it doesn't leave a trail behind. Yeah, this one is pretty simple. If I can get down here, there we go. We have our input, which is bone meal, going into this barrel. It comes out in stacks of 64. This says if there is more than 8 stacks in here, don't let anything in. And since there is, it's not going to let anything in. Over here, we have a threshold switch with the amount of moss it needs to keep in. And I didn't make this easy to traverse, but if we come over to this side, that one over there says how much moss. If we've got more than that, it'll let it run out into this barrel, which is doing what our dirt did, sending it out with a threshold switch set to 9 and 8. When it's below, it'll turn on, which turns off this torch. So the opposite happens, blah, blah, it sends it out. Then we also need to monitor that we don't put too much dirt in here so that none of these other sources can get in and out. So for that, we've put a threshold switch telling how much dirt can come in, comes out in stacks of 16. We wanted this to be slower because we want this to be the time it takes for it to load up a full round, is how long it needs to empty off all this other stuff. But we wanted to slow this down a bit because this is the signal we are taking to send it down and back up. So if we come back up here and we take a look at our redstone, see, that is the signal that we're getting off that dirt. Once it's full, it'll send it back down and up again. We have our 30-second, if it's sitting up here and it's not gone for some reason, it'll cut it off and send it back around. And then this is our threshold switch from our storage saying, keep this stuff closed, we've got enough of it. And then it does the 10 tick into 10 tick down, 5 seconds for this one into the 10 tick extender. And the extender is just to make sure that it actually registers, because these output, I think it's like 2 tick pulse. And so sometimes 2 ticks is too quick. So I like to extend it to 10 ticks for these to make sure that it registers. And those send down and up. And then if we look over here at our moss, it's basically the same setup, but if we look under here, the difference is I was getting some of the azalea plants that would grow on the top. Just happens. Nothing I could do about it. I didn't want to use a saw because all this wood around it, I just didn't want to run the risk of it chopping in. So I added drills on top to catch that and break it. There's gonna be a little bit of azalea leaf spillage that I can't do anything about, but it's fine. It just adds character. So that is all 3 of them. And Dirt's still back there working hard. It is the slowest because it requires the time to craft a whole another chunk of stacks before it'll go go down and come back up. All in all, I am super happy with this build. These farms work amazing, and they clear up some of the prime real estate up here to start putting in a storage facility that is going to be centralized around here. I can put vaults down here in the base, but that's not that many vaults. I can start to do little like storage hubs around here, but I want some of the main stuff to be stored in here. It makes me sad to tear this down, because this was like I need dirt and I need it now, and this did it, right? And it did it efficiently. And then one day I was like, I need moss, and this did it, and it did it quick. I think it was like a montage where I just casually turned this into a moss farm. Sorry, I'm getting a little nostalgic here. It feels like so long ago, but it feels like time has been flying, and it's been so slow at the same time. We're on episode 17. That's crazy. And there are 66 of you out there who actually are keeping up. So if there are any more who want to join, now's your time. Go ahead and subscribe. I think this was in the lava sphere episode, if I'm remembering correctly. If you know, feel free to comment below. But yeah, I think I made that during the lava sphere episode. Let me turn this off. I don't need that running right now. It's not got any bone meal in it. I'm so happy with how this whole thing turned out. The power generation, the fact that this actually works, that these buckets are getting transported up to the stations. Why is this one not working? That's weird. Let me go up and check that. Ow. You know what's going to help me here? There it is. This glue is not glued. All right, I'm going to have to take it offline for a second. Hopefully this doesn't ruin everything, but if I take it offline for a second, where does that connect up? It goes down. Okay. In theory, that should connect it up. Let's lie down here real quick, ow, and connect that up. That comes down this way, goes over here, connects up there, goes down here. So the string, there's a connection problem at the string. I'm doing it again. I know I've got the carrots in my toolbox, but I'm over here. So connect you to you. Is that as simple as it is? Come back down here and flick that, and well, there goes 4 buckets already. Yeah. There we go. That's all of them. That's fantastic. That means we're actually producing. Hold up. Yep, there's an extra 1,000,000. I didn't even have all of them up. Nice. I just found power in my back pocket. Yeah, we're going to call this a win. We're going to call this a win. I fixed it. That was relatively painless. You know, this little patch in the sky, it's really grown on me. It feels like almost yesterday I started this, but we've been going for a while now, and your support has meant the world to me. So thank you guys so much. I know there's not many right now, but we're getting there, and I'm happy with what we've been able to accomplish. I mean, this is so cool, and it opens up a whole new world of farms that I hadn't even thought about, and vertical integration. It's just so much fun. So to finish out the episode, I am going to treat you guys to a nice little time lapse of me cleaning this area up and sending these packages through the bridge as well. I really like this facade. I need to come back in and finish that up because oh, that scared me. Even though I have wings, I'm fine. Yeah, I need to finish that up. So without any more waffling about, here's that time lapse. Well, after a bit of work, I have hooked this guy up to both the spruce using our vertical chains here to carry us down, our packages down, but we get set down right here. If we're still getting slimes, kind of hoping that would solve that problem. We'll see if it does. I've done some carpeting down here, and I love how the pale moss carpet just extends up. It's amazing. We've got threshold switches on everything, so any overflow that isn't getting sent over there, if it sits here, will just get voided. And we've also hooked up our saplings. Everything has to be connected up to their own network, and it was kind of complicated. Each one of these is its own network connected to a redstone requester over there, and they all are suffixed with SPR or spruce because I've had to set up. Let's imagine I'm a package, so I come out here and I want to go over there. Well, I'm going for SPR, and then right about here I get sucked up by this little frog who is saying pick up anything with SPR and put it up. This one is set to only send just a little hopper in. Frogs and hoppers, they work well together. They're about the same tick, so it can keep up, and it's great for just moving quickly. Frog and hopper, this frog is connected up here. I know it's long and kind of but it works. It seems to be doing it for the slimes. And then if we go a little further here, we can go up to our moss farm. It's not prettied up yet, and yes, that goes straight through a bunch of stuff, but it's fine. We have vertical chains there, taking things up and out. So we're all connected up, and I can't wait to keep doing more of this, because you can just down. Now we can transport packages into an outer ring of farms around here. Well, that's it for this week. If you enjoyed the episode, give it a like, hit subscribe. I'll see you guys next week.